China, the only nation boosting its nuclear arsenal, according to a U.S. commander. That plus a new kind of nuclear technology, and Beijing may get the rights to it. Drought in South China. Farmers say crops are failing as soaring temperatures take their toll. And the same heat wave sparking fires nearby a major city. Another U.S. politician visits Taiwan. This time, Indiana's governor is meeting with the island's president, plus its advanced chip-making companies. And Australian diplomacy taking a hit, with Chinese telecom company Huawei slated to build over 160 telecom towers in the nation's backyard. Welcome to China in Focus. I'm Tiffany Meyer. The U.S. Indo-Pacific commander is warning that Beijing is seeking the largest military buildup in history since the Second World War. He adds that China's stockpiled nuclear arsenal poses a threat to the Indo-Pacific region. The commander, Admiral John Aquilino, says the only nation increasing the nuclear arsenal right now is the PRC. The PRC stands for the People's Republic of China, the country's formal name. He said China had 300 nuclear silos going in while the press conference was happening. The Pentagon estimated last year that Beijing could have up to 700 nuclear warheads by 2027. Continuing with nuclear technology, China operates 54 nuclear power reactors, and another 23 are currently under construction. That puts the country at second place for most nuclear reactors in the world. It trails behind the U.S., which has a whopping 93 nuclear reactors. But the world's nuclear list may shift as concerns over energy rise. Many countries are now weighing whether to revive their nuclear power plants. Though China seems to be taking it one step further. The Chinese Communist regime has been targeting an advanced nuclear power technique for years. In China's remote northwest, scientists successfully built a molten salt reactor, and they're about to power it up. Instead of using uranium, it's powered by thorium, another radioactive metal. The reactor will be the first of its kind. And if China sees success with using thorium in reactors for commercial use, Beijing may be able to gain full intellectual property rights for it. Despite its uniqueness, the technology behind it isn't new. The U.S.-based Oak Ridge National Laboratory operated a similar prototype in the 1960s. But conventional water-cooled reactors were put in use instead. An intense heat wave is scorching China's Yangtze River basin. It's lasted more than 2 months, and it's putting harvest season in jeopardy. Here's what a Chinese farmer had to say about what it means for this year's crops.
68-year-old farmer Chen Shaohua combs through his plot of land in southwestern China. Normally, at this time in August, his sweet potato leaves would be growing thick and plentiful. Instead, they're burnt to a crisp under the sweltering sun.
All scorched, you see. Certainly cannot grow. The high temperature is slowly roasting the sweet potato leaves to death.
China's Yangtze River is quickly running dry amid a 2-month heat wave. And it's not the only one. 66 rivers across 34 counties in Chongqing region have dried up, according to state broadcaster CCTV. One district reached 113 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday, the hottest in the country. Rainfall is down 60% compared to the seasonal norm, putting the autumn harvest in jeopardy. China is taking emergency action, sending specialists to vulnerable regions to help allocate water resources. The Ministry of Water Resources put out a warning about deteriorating soil moisture in several provinces. Regional governments are being urged to draw up schedules for farms to take turns tapping what water remains. The fresh water Chen has been relying on from a nearby mountain stream has dwindled to nothing in recent days. He's turned to a nearby pond, carrying buckets of water every morning to try and save his crops. But the leaves and stems continue to die. Chen says he hasn't seen the temperatures this high since a historical heat wave over a half-century ago.
This year is drier than 1960. The temperature is higher this year. It wasn't as high as this in 1960. The temperature is so high every day. We have to work in the morning. In the afternoon, we only stay in the house. We are afraid to go out.
The Yangtze River is the longest river in China and supports about a third of the country's population. Next, we head over to central China, where similar issues are cropping up. A farmer from Henan province highlights the trouble in a video, showing off wilted corn and peanut plants. He explains that this time of year is harvest season, but notes that this year, farmers' efforts have yielded virtually nothing.
这个河南的天气大旱，看一下咱们的花生，往年这个时候它都已经结果了，今年基本上是绝收了。看一下咱们的玉米，到现在连一个棒都没有。
He says the lack of water has plagued hundreds of acres of farmland in his village. Now an update on a different kind of emergency. Fires have broken out in the woods outside Chongqing City in recent days. That's as local temperatures soars to highs of 113 degrees Fahrenheit. The local weather station has issued its highest level heatwave warning for 11 days straight. The latest blaze ignited on Sunday in an area relatively nearby a residential zone. The fire was still burning as of Monday, though authorities have reported no casualties. For the third time in a month, a high-level U.S. politician is visiting Taiwan. Indiana's governor met with Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen on Monday. Also on the schedule, talks with Taiwanese semiconductor companies. Here's more.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb arrived in Taiwan on Sunday. His trip follows two high-profile visits by U.S. politicians earlier this month: House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and five-member delegation.
Taiwan has been confronted by military threats from China in and around Taiwan, the Taiwan Strait. At this moment, Democratic allies must stand together and boost cooperation across all areas.
Holcomb termed his visit an economic development trip.
Because we share so many common values and interests and goals, there are more opportunities ahead of us than I think there ever have been before for us to continue to strengthen and cultivate and nurture this relationship as our economies grow and grow together.
His four-day visit will focus on economic exchange. That's set to include a visit to local semiconductor companies and signing trade agreements. Taiwan is home to the world's largest contact chip maker, TSMC. The company is currently building a $12 billion plant in Arizona State.
That's all for today's China in Focus on YouTube. We're now sharing a shortened version of our program here after being demonetized for more than a year. Here's what to look out for in our second half. A Canadian billionaire gets sentenced to prison. He used to be one of China's wealthiest and was known for his connections to the country's political elites. And China's real estate sector is stuck in crisis mode. What's really happening? Brian McCarthy, chief strategist at Macro Lens, breaks it down. The full episode is available on our partner platform, Epoch TV. To sign up, click the link down below. Thanks for watching China in Focus. I'm Tiffany Meyer, and see you tomorrow.